Dr. Val. That was totally inspiring. And of course, there are questions. I have my questions to go, but I noticed you have a question in the Q&A. Now, guys, if you have, want to reach out to Dr. Val, ask a question, just drop it in the Q&A or the chat box, and I will read it to her. Now, I'm just going to, before I open up for the Q&A question, I have a question that came to my mind. You mentioned rearrange the classroom.
Yes.
And rearranging the classroom right now, there are no classrooms technically.
Yes.
So I'm just jogging your brain a bit. Like, what do you foresee? How can they rearrange? How can they make things different if it's going to be more technology based?
Yeah. Well, with technology, usually you don't have live classes, right? Mm-hmm. So if students and teachers, if teachers teach online, let's say a Blackboard or Canvas, one of those LMS, right? Everything is there. So the students go in, they do their work. Faculty record their own videos, upload it to the website. Students have access to them as they log in themselves. Now, of course, that's not enough. And so what faculty are doing today, and educational leaders, they are using Zoom. So when you are using Zoom, you just have to have some rules in place so that you don't have just one person or two people, have monopoly over the conversation, right? So you have to think ahead. What kind of a experience you want to have, right? Everything we do, it's a learning experience. So we have to think, okay, what is the end goal, right? What is the learning outcome? What do I want my students at the end of 10 minutes? 15 minutes, whatever that is, right? What do I want my students to take away? We should not just show up to, teach. Just because we have to teach, somebody says we have to teach. Yes, we do. But think about how can you impact your students, right? So they can have a memorable experience via Zoom or whatever else you are using. And that requires planning. That requires expectations, and you have to share this with your students so they know what's expected of them. They know how to behave in an online environment because, hey, this is the world we live in, so they better know what is the expectation when we meet online as opposed to the classroom.
Thank you so much for that. So in the Q&A, I have a teacher.
Yes.
So her question is she's talking about the levels of leadership.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So is each level dependent on the one beneath, or can we be more than one levels?
Oh, that's a great question. What's her name?
Anderson.
That's a great question. And hello, and how are you? Oh, that's a great question. So with the levels of leadership, you cannot be at level 3, right? Unless you have been to level 1. Okay, you can go to level 3 without having to be at level 1 and level 2, right? Because you have done your work. But if you are going into an organization, right? Then you have to have that promotion or somebody, you need to have a transformational leader there to see in you, understand the potential. Now, if you're in the classroom, let me give you an example, right? If you're in the classroom as a teacher, you are at level 1 if you just show up with that teaching degree. You don't know anything about teaching. Yes? You think that if you have a license to teach, you can teach. No, you cannot. And even worse, right? If you are a college, career-oriented sort of faculty, meaning that you are expert in your subject, but you do not have experience in pedagogy, again, you cannot teach. So you can reach number 3, number 4, number 2, if you don't just stay at number 1. And that it's related to your leaders. They have to provide opportunities for you to grow, to expand your capacity. And if they don't do that, Anderson, just go on your own.
Thank you so much, Doc. Now, this question came to my mind on the same level, the level of leadership, the title, which is bottom. People follow you because they have no choice.
Yes.
Um, is that a leader or would that be more of a manager?
At the title, number one?
Yeah, the title.
Yeah, not even a manager, right?
Okay.
That is someone that is there also for the position. They got the position. It's not really on merit. They didn't have the opportunity to develop their leadership skills. They're not effective. At this level number one, you don't grow. And if you don't grow, your people don't grow, right? At this level, for example, if you are looking at the scale between 1 and 10, what is your leadership level? 1, maybe 2, right? Well, if you are at level 2, guess what? Your people cannot go to 3 if you are at level 2, right? As a leader. So you need to do your own work. You need to do your own development so that your people can follow you. But at this level, we are talking about schools that are performing very poorly. We are talking about leaders who they say they care about students. They like to say students first, student success, but essentially they're not doing that, because if they were, more students will be successful. So at this level, they're sort of like, just holding on to their title and do what they need to do by telling people what to do, right? And people, they're signing forms, clocking in, clocking out, like automation. There is no creativity. They're not using their brain, and that's terrible.
Thank you so much, Doc. Now you have a lovely compliment from Dawson. I love the energy. It made the presentation alive and easy to follow because we were being drawn in by the energy. Yes, she has a lot of energy.
Who is that?
I think it's Avita Dawson.
I don't know, but I want to thank you so much, and I hope I connect with you on social media. Please send me a message.
Yes. And I don't see any other question come up, but I have just a general question. Where do you see leaders really adapting to the transformative leadership?
Yes, and that's what I'm doing. And quite frankly, I need to play a bigger role, because it's really a problem. Graduations rates, higher education, and even K-12, we are talking about the United States, but also around the world, right? Education, so students, graduation rates, achievement rates are low. And when we look at class, guess who are the lower performing groups of people? They are the students from underserved communities. They are the students from lower class. Now, these students, their only opportunity is to have access to a high quality education so they can move away from that environment, right? And yet they're left behind because the system, it's a systematic problem. The system is not accommodating their needs. They don't have teachers and leaders who have been trained, right, on this level, so they know how to connect with their students. Because they have not been trained, they can't do any better. That's why I say this is a leadership problem. It's not faculty, yes, faculty too, of course, and students. But if you as a leader of faculty are a transformational leader, it's impossible, for your faculty not to be inspired, right? And then guess what? If they're inspired by you, when they go to the classroom, how they're going to show up, you think?
They're gonna show up ready to learn.
Exactly. And the students are going to be just like we're having this now, right? So that's what I'm saying. This is the process. The leaders of school must be trained and understand that their faculty and their students, they can only get to their level. So that's why I'm so passionate about, the student graduation and retention. They're so low. Why? We absolutely need to do better.
Yes, I agree with you totally. And there's someone here, another compliment says, hi, Dr. Val.
Hello.
I hope I don't mispronounce your name. The last name is Hines. It says, you are so expressive. Truly feel your passion for growth. I feel the same way. Love the way you broke down the levels of leadership.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Could you please, all of you, connect with me on LinkedIn or social media somewhere? We need to be in touch, okay? We need to
Yes.
connect.
Networking is very important, no matter what industry you fall into. She says, I am a business consultant and many
Where?
similarities to organizations and certainly can make the connection with workers. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. We need to connect, work together, inspire one another. We need a community. Me, I am at the people development. And when I get to the summit, I want you to be there with me. Okay?
Yes, yes,
Yes, yes.
yes. All right. So I am about to wrap up. I don't see any more questions. I'm looking at Q&A chat. No other questions. Dr. Val, thank you so much for a great presentation full of energy, as the participant stated, and bringing through knowledge.
Who's that?
Of the participants, and the participants said you're full of energy. So I am sending you that information. So thank you so much for being on this webinar, sharing your knowledge and your expertise. And we will follow up with an email. We will have the video edited and we will send it out to the participants that they could share amongst themselves to others. All right, everyone, be safe, be safe, be safe.
Yes, yes.
Go
So
ahead, Dr. Val.
students, yes, yes. I just wanted to once again thank you so much for your time. I look forward to one day meeting with you in person. But before then, I want you to promise yourself that we are here in this life right now together. Let's use every day for the good of the people, for making the world better. And that begins in the classroom, one mind at a time. So I want to thank you so much today for your time. Be safe, be healthy, and I look forward to connecting with you. And watch out for my own Zoom webinars starting tomorrow. Okay?
Yes. And I'll
I'll announce
definitely
that.
send that information out for you, Dr. Val.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
everyone, I'm signing out. Again, I'm Dr. Neva. Thanks, Dr. Val. Have a good day, night, evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.